So I have a bit of a long presentation, I guess you could call it. Because I kind of feel like this is the only time I'm ever going to get the microphone and get to talk this much in a room with Juan, Sonia, Pavan, who else? Who else we got? Ramana. I mean, we got Acento, so this is my one chance to really, take the mic and actually get a chance to talk. So I got this idea actually from Ajay, for his tennis banquet. For his speech, he just talked about everybody else in the room, all his teammates. Hopefully I won't make the same mistake of forgetting his sister, who's also his teammate. He named everybody, so I thought he was saving her for last. Nope, just forgot. So I truly apologize if I forget anybody. If I do, you have to come up here and tell me, and then we'll do a special presentation. But I know not everybody can see the slides, so you may have to come see them later. But I have a slideshow because I wanted to really talk about everybody and just what everybody means to my life. Because honestly, I'm all about relationships, my family, my friends, that's what everything is about. That's why I wanted to have this party, because normally I wouldn't want to celebrate my 50th. My 40th, a few of you remember, I was dead set, didn't want anybody to mention it. So 50th, I decided to embrace it. So here's my little presentation. This first picture with Juan, got to start with him. He's the one that's made all this possible. For once, he's at the center of attention. But I'm truly grateful. We just celebrated our 25 years. It's really amazing that time's flown. All the cliche, whatever. But thank you, Juan. Thank you for everything you do. You're not you don't always do things my way, but things get done. And this is the guy you want in a flood, in a freeze, in COVID. This guy's gonna take care of you. It may not come off all nice and soft, but you will get taken care of, All right. So then, we go to our first baby. She was the first baby of all of our, most of our friends, all our family, and Priya, everybody that knows Priya's Priya. I don't know how else can we say it? She's gonna do her own thing. We're so proud of her. She's working, she's doing her own thing. I learned so much from her just how she lives life. It's not about money, it's not about, the material things. It's really, she's so well-rounded. I'm just so proud of everything she does. And I know she jokes about the medical school thing, but, I'm really proud. She is just her own person, and I can just never, understand her all the time. I can't always understand her dressing, but other than that, super proud of you, Priya. And then we have my little Ajay, this guy, he looks just like Juan, but he's a totally momity. And what that means, and I think some of you know what this means, he's quiet, he's a little slow, I don't mean slow like physically slow, this is the kid who, he wanted to play basketball, he wanted to play tennis. He did play tennis, but it was I love you, Ajay, but it was the most painful thing to watch him play basketball. We were run, and then during his tennis lessons, all I hear is run, but he tried, and I love him for it, and he's just the sweetest, he's just, full of love, full of just goodness, and he was so sweet. He made the floral arrangements tonight. It's just something he offered to do. It's really appreciated. And then we have our baby Mila. I love this girl. Just don't go walk in her room. I'm sorry, Mila. I'm not trying to out you, but her room is wow. But other than that, sweetest girl, sweetest smile. I keep telling Juan, we got to be nice to this one because she's the one that's going to take care of us. So don't give her a hard time about every little thing. We need her because those other two, I'm not so sure about. And, here are my parents, of course, they're my everything, I think I've always taken it for granted that this is just how it's supposed to be. And, when they say don't spoil your kids, I'm I don't know what that means, because my parents spoil me to this day. And I couldn't do what I do, I couldn't be what I am without them. And I really appreciate it. They're not ones to really want a lot of attention. They just do what they need to do. And I don't think I ever asked my mom anything where I think she's gonna say no, just my parents are, amazing. And I do want to wish them a happy 50th anniversary. We had a chance to take a nice family trip last year. So, they wanted to keep it low key just with the family. And I'm so glad that we were able to celebrate all together for the first time, all of us together with my brother's family and us. And, it's my favorite picture. Like this, this was our picture from last year. And their 50th. And then, of course, my brother and Christina. My brother, again, typical mommy, very quiet. Some of you, people who probably have heard about 10 words out of his mouth, but one-on-one, he's amazing. He's quiet, but he's, always there. He's always, he's going to come through. He doesn't complain. And Christina, over the years, I've really just, she's become one of my best friends, and I probably talk to her way more than my brother. And their kids are amazing, and I'm just so happy that we're getting to spend so much time with them lately. Just taking the trips and taking the time to be together. And I call this our core 11, or is it 11, 12, but this is us. Like, it is so nice to be able to be together and take trips together and everything. So now we go to my cousins. So my dad came to the States in 75. I was born in 74. My brother was born later in 75, so he didn't even see my brother for several years. And then my mom went later. So for a year, I lived with one set of cousins, one aunt, and my brother lived with another uncle. So I lived with my dad's sister. So these are her kids, and that's me. And this is them now. So one on the bottom couldn't make it because of Michigan weather. Just there was some flight issues, but the one at the top is Madhavi, or Chinamaneka, as I call her, and Pavan. This cool dude in the glasses here, standing right here, and their son. And I'm just so happy to have them here. Pavan's a party guy, so I'm expecting to see him on the dance floor in no time. But I'm super happy that they made the effort to come all the way from Seattle, and I grew up with them for a whole year, and that's an amazing experience I've had. Next. And then this is my dad's oldest brother and his wife and their kids, and my brother and I. So both of those girls are here too, which I'm super excited about. So this is Johnsy, the older one, and her kids, and all four of them are here today. I'm excited because Anjali's here for a month of rheumatology. So my rheumatology colleagues and friends, please find Anjali and give her some advice. And then this is Mamta. She's my cousin in Dallas. We lived in Dallas for a few years, so we actually got to raise our kids together. Kids are similar age. And unfortunately, her husband, who's honestly the more fun one, it was under the weather, so he's not here, but happy to have you and Mamta and Maya be here. And then this is the baby of our dad's side of the family, Bob. We call him Bob G. His name is Harish. He comes off a little rough, but he's always the one that's trying to keep us all together, and he married the nicest person. She's an endocrinologist. That's right, because endocrinologists, that's just how we are. And his cute little kid, so I'm super happy to have him here. He's working on his 5% body fat. He's always, he's looking, I can tell, I'm like, when I'm around him, I gotta suck it in, because he's gonna make a comment, And then this is my mom's side of the family, my mom's sister's son and his wife. And that's Satish, so he's visiting from New Jersey. Super nice guy. He's over there. He's usually in the doghouse for something or the other with his wife, Sweta, but I think he's doing okay right now. And they're cute kids. And then this is his sister, my mom's sister's daughter, and I think she reminds me the most of my mom. She's just lively, fun, she just wants to have fun, she's always there to have a good time. Kieran comes off as a little looking serious, but wow, that guy can dance. I couldn't believe it. I went to New Jersey for a family party, and these guys were better. I thought we partied, but they were out till 4 in the morning, nonstop. It was super fun. And they also have 2 kids, so it's a great family. And then this is my mom's cousin, and all of them are here, which I'm super excited about. Rajni, or Duleka as I call her. She's always been like a big sister to me. I look up to everything she does. It's amazing, everything she juggles between work, her kids, her parents, and she's just always the one you turn to, reliable, and just ready for, to take care of everybody. And this is Sahana and her husband, Abe, and this was at their wedding a few years ago. They have 2 kids now, but, growing up, I met Sana when she was 1, and I was always like, oh, I want to have a kid like her. She's perfect. Like, she would have a list of everything she would do, and she's about 35, 36, but she was like one of my bridesmaids, even though she was like 11 at the time. And, super cute, super motivated, but unfortunately, she's one of the reasons my kids are like, I don't want to do medicine. Sanak is like 35, and she finally finished her, anesthesia, pain fellowship, whatever, and she's finally working. Like, I don't want to wait that long, but super proud of everything she does. And, I remember seeing her, like, with her Hrithik Roshan poster, like, when she was younger. The cutest thing was her husband did a Hrithik Roshan dance for her, for the wedding, and he's putting on, and I hope someday you'll recreate that, because that was just such a fun experience, Abe. And then this is the baby of their family, Siddharth, and his wife recently, from their wedding a couple of years ago. And again, they're both dentists, super proud of him. I still think of him as the little 3-year-old boy that his mom spoiled. And, honestly, I think it's okay to spoil your kids. I mean, they still turn out fine, because he's great. And then this is another, I don't even know how we're related, but we're related. Like, second, third cousins, you know how this goes, Rainika and Raghu, and super excited they're here again. Woodlands, we hardly get to see them because we're like on opposite ends of 45, but super happy to have them here. And then this is Srinanda and his wife and family, and Srinanda, I've known him since I was a teenager, and he would come over, give me life advice, and I remember I thought he was so mean, I told him, when I grow up, I'm gonna live next door to Tejal, we're gonna have kids, and they're gonna be best friends, and he's like, that's not how life works, This is not what happens. People move on, and I don't know, it just sounded very negative for a 15-year-old, but you're kind of right, but it's okay, it's okay. And this is Urchana. I think a lot of you have met her before, and Urchana and Mike. So the funny thing is, our parents knew each other from college or something. My dad went to their parents' and wedding over 50 years ago. So, and then when they moved to Texas from India, we were the ones that we saw them quite frequently. And then they eventually moved to California. Funny thing is, they did move back to Texas after about 10, 12 years ago. I don't know. It's been a while now, and it's funny how parallel our lives are. We both married non-Indians, and back in 1998, that was even a bigger deal. And then we both have 3 kids who are very similar in age. We're both endocrinologists, so it's just kind of nice. And recently we had a chance to get together with all the family, and it's amazing to think okay, this started over 50 years ago, and here we are now, kind of continuing that bond. Now this, now you're not from Now, you're not a late 80s, 90s kid if you don't have one of these Olam Mill pictures, I mean, come on. And honestly, we were so annoying, we would dress up similarly. You can't tell here, we're wearing, similar purple jackets, and I mean, I'm sure we were super annoying to other people, but what can I say? I'm so excited that she and her husband, Shashi, are here, from Richmond. This is a girl who was born and raised in Houston, so I was shocked when she moved out of Texas. And this was our pick stitch back then, we just cut up pictures and put them all together. But all our fun things, her being Gujarati, I had so much fun going to Garba. It was a lot of fun going to Gujarati Samaj and doing Garba and stuff. And then the next picture, this was back when, early on when they were married, Shashi and Tejal was married, and I feel like they're the classic, Gujarati, Houston love story. They met at U of H, they fell in love at a Garba. I remember sitting around at the Coliseum watching him. She's like, check out this guy. And honestly, she thought a lot of guys were cute, so I was like, okay, it's just another one. But, every other week it's somebody or the other. So I was like, okay, this one seems real. And I mean, he's amazing, Shashi. We love you. You get along with Juan so well. And I'm, I wish you didn't take her away out of Houston and Texas, considering you were raised here too. But I know you have a great life in Richmond, not Texas, Virginia. And then another high school friend, Romana. Everybody knows Romana and Manish. Are they still here? There might be another party by now. And Romana is the same then, now. She is what she is. And I mean, and I kind of have to put Manish in a picture because, you know how he is. And, and Pagel and I get to take credit for these two meeting. I mean, I feel like we should get something. I don't know, we invited Romano out for, one of those Big John parties for anybody that remembers. And these two just caught sight of each other and just, it was like love at first sight. I mean, and they've gone through a lot and, I learned a lot from them. You just push through and, just make it work. And then another friend from high school, Asim, again, we just kind of reconnected again a few years ago, and it's amazing. He's got a great, Drew is amazing. He's living his life. I mean, Asim, I think Drew and I can sit around and just kind of roll our eyes about Asim. He's a little, like all over the place, but he's the sweetest. I love the text that he sends me just randomly, and it's always something positive, And I just love those kind of messages that he sends me just randomly, and he just has the best heart. They both do. They have an amazing little family, and I'm just so proud of everything he's doing. This guy I've known since high school too, Radhashyam. Gerba days, and I don't know, somehow we ended up watching, what was that Sharon Stone movie we watched together? Yeah, Basic Instinct. We were like, oh my God, this was just like as friends, nothing more. I don't remember if you were there, but we're like, wow. And he's just Radhashyam is Radhashyam. I feel like one day he's gonna be like, have a cult or something, Dr. Rad, And then when he had married Ragini, I mean, you guys know Ragini. I can't even rag on her because she'll do it to herself. Like, she's just crazy. I don't know. She just does what she does, and no apologies for it, but I love that about her, And then, also from high school, Rakesh, Rock. Like I've known him since, like he was a year ahead of me, but I've known him since then, and just, funniest guy, most easiest going guy. I kind of feel like I kind of followed him along, like, we're both at Hastings and HBU, then we went to med school, and then we were back in residency together, both did endocrinology, and I mean, you can't say enough nice things about Rock. I wanted to put in, like, a video of him dancing, because I feel like that reflects him the best, but I wasn't sure it was going to work out here. And then there's Neha, the sensible, practical, part, the other half, and we love you, Neha. I mean, you keep everything together, and she never makes you feel like she's a psychiatrist. I don't know, I always feel like around dentists, I'm really conscientious of my teeth, and then psychiatrists, I'm like, oh my God, what is she gonna diagnose me? But she is the most non-judgmental person I've met, she's really good at her job, And then this is my brother's friend Mia and his wife Christina, which is weird. Like they've been best friends forever. They're both married to Christina. My brother took his Christina to prom somehow. I mean, I don't know, whatever it is, but they're basically like a part of our family. They call my mom Amama. Their kids call my dad Papa. Like they're basically part, just an extension of us, and we just love them so much. And I'm so happy you guys are here too.
There's more. Oh my God.
And then we got I told you, it's my one chance. I know, I'm telling you, that's what I'm trying to do. So I'm so excited, a lot of my med school friends are here, so super excited, a couple from San Antonio, a couple live here, a couple, one in the Woodlands, which is kind of far, and so this is Monica. She's my Asian buddy. She's like all about stinky tofu and checking out the best Asian food in town. I mean, every trip we do is all about that. Super happy to have you here. And then more pics, just from our different trips that we've taken. And then Elsie. Elsie was also one of my bridesmaids, and she is like another practical friend. Like when I first started dating Juan, she's like, "Are you sure?" That's it. Just nothing else. She didn't give me a whole spiel on it. She just said, "Are you sure?" And and I could see what she meant, and and all of that. And then and it's still, I still hear in my head sometimes when we have an issue. I'm like, I don't know, maybe Elsie had a point, And then a few years, and then she married Alex, and Alex, is from India, doctor, and I was like, are you sure? Because, Elsie grew up here, but I was like, check his USMLE scores, make sure he's not gonna, he's gonna get into a residency here, but he's amazing, he's done really well, and we love just hanging out with both of them. And then Preeti, I've known Preeti since high school too, HBU, she was a year younger, we were roommates in med school, and she's so quiet, and she's like, oh, my boyfriend's coming, and then I was expecting, first of all, I was surprised she had a boyfriend, because she's so good, and then, no offense, John, but, like the whitest white guy came, and I was like, oh my God, but he's super sweet, he's probably more Indian than some of us, and, just, it's been so nice that they're in town, and we're able to spend a lot of time with them. And then Melissa's my other buddy from the San Antonio area in New Bronzeville. Super proud of her. She just opened her own peds practice. And, and again, this is the thing is at this age, we're still doing new things. And I think all of my friends, I see them do that. Elsie just opened up a new practice. Like, Monica tries different things. Like, we're all doing different things. But it's, we keep going. And Preeti, I don't know, she's OB-GYN at St. Joseph's. And the stuff she tells me, the stuff she does, like, her calm demeanor is, it sounds so scary, the stuff she deals with, but I'm just totally amazed by these friends. And the trips that we take, really kind of, I think it refreshes all of us, because, nobody gets it like the people you went through in med school or whatever difficult part of your life, and that's like a bond. And this coming up year will be our 25th year from graduation, so hopefully we'll do something big. And this is another, like, old school, friends of my parents, Sadnanti and Sadakar uncle, and he's not here, but again, my parents go back, like way back from Oklahoma, when my dad was a grad student in Oklahoma, when my dad was like ready to leave and say, okay, forget this, I miss my family, Sadakar uncle's the one that said, no, you need to stay, you can do it, and we used to visit them all the time in Oklahoma, and they just recently moved back to Texas, so, kind of nice how things just come full circle. All right. I don't know if I have enough time to talk about this one. So, I met Prashant in residency, and you can imagine, him as a resident or your intern. So I was a year above him, and here I am trying to just, survive night float, and this guy's like doing his Prashantisms, like, hey, Jyothi, what about this? Or something like totally unrelated, and I'm like, Prashant, we just need to get the work done, come on, let's go. But, he's always had that in him, but I'm so proud of him, the clinic he's built up and the life he's built for himself. And I met Durga back in residency when she was pregnant with Rohan, and it's just been amazing that we've been able to live close by, and she's my Bravo buddy, anytime there's like what's going on Bravo, Real Housewives, and then she keeps me up on all the hip hop. She knows everything, like she is, Beaumont, that's the Beaumont in her. All right, and then Malini and Suresh. We met you guys all around the same time when we were in Friendswood, and Juan asked, like, why did you pick this picture of Suresh? I'm like, dude, he's in a kilt. Like, how do I not pick this picture? But there's so many options, and Suresh is Suresh. What can we say? One thing I gotta give him props for is his resiliency. Like, this guy could not swim, but he just kept going, snorkeling now, diving now, and I think that says a lot. You did what you sought out to do. It took a little bit of time, and you're way beyond me. So, but proud of you. And then Malini, half the people have called me Malini. Confuse us too. The two South Indian girls. But she's like a sister. We fight, we do this, we do that, whatever. But we always come back, and our kids are great friends. And it's an amazing relationship. We miss having you guys in Friendswood. It's been a while, but but it's like that original group when your kids are little. Having those kind of friends. This is like all these little kids. And then we got Sonia and Dave. Just again met through the whole Friendswood Clear Lake League City group, and Sonia, we love you, but girl, you can talk. I don't know what to say. I don't know. I can pretty much, when I'm around Sonia, I can just sit down and be like, okay, I'm good. I can just listen for a bit, and I'm going to hear the whole story. But I love it. It's so entertaining. But you know what? I'm so proud of you. Everything you've been through since I've known you, the way you're so strong, it's really, really, I learned a lot from you about how to just push forward and keep going. and you do it well. And then Dave, I don't know, Dave, you have like 2 or 3 jobs, but you never look like there's any problem. You just keep going, and you're always the life of the party, and you know, we love it.
Oh, whiskey.
Yeah, I would say, yeah, these two are like the classic Punjabi couple, you know, we love it. And then of course, you know, we have our, you know, the person we miss the most, like, you know, Prithvi, Pinku. This is really hard because, you know, tomorrow would be his birthday too. We were 1 day apart, both Capricorns. And, you know, for me, Pinku's in my life every day. I think about him every day. He, you know, he's just a part of me all the time. And, you know, I think of him like the little devil on your shoulder who's like, come on, Jyothi, just do it. It's okay, do it. You want it, buy it, you know, whatever it is. Because it's about, you know, enjoy life, and he was always like that. And Dipali, you know, I'm just so proud of everything that you do. And, you know, your kids are amazing, you're amazing. I don't know how you have as much energy as you do, but I learned so much from just watching you. And I really, really, you know, I just wanted to give a big shout out to Pinku for his 50th. You know, he's always with us. You know, just happy birthday to him. And, you know, we miss him. But he's with us. And here's my little, you know, endo sister, Vinitha. You guys probably hear her on TV all the time. I swear all the time I hear Kelsey Siebold, you know, Vinitha's voice on the TV. And, you know, met Haresh a few years ago, an amazing couple. And, you know, she's my endocrine roomie, and just, it's so nice to have someone kind of relate to with the endocrine side of things. And then I'm so excited that Rashmi's here. She's a rheumatologist. We started a practice together. We were side by side for 5 years, and I rarely get to see her, but I'm so happy she's here with her husband. And, you know, I don't know where you are, but thank you for coming. And then my neighbors, Anuj and Danye, you know, what are the chances we have two, you know, neighbors across the street with 2 Priyas, you know, and Danye, I still never got the history of your name, Danye. Like, one of these days I'm gonna get that history, like where that comes from. And, you know, even though we're literally across the street, I haven't seen them in months until today, you know? And, you know, Anuj, I don't know, you need to get some shirts. Like, every time I see you, you're like playing basketball without a shirt. Playing, you know, mowing the lawn without a shirt. I don't know, just wondering. And then more friends with folks, you know, with Monica and Samir. And, you know, it's so nice to have people close by that we can see, and so proud of their daughter, you know. And, you know, we got to see them in Boston, of all places, when we were dropping our kids off in Boston. And, you know, Samir's always the life of the party. Monica just is chill and just, you know, goes with it. Just like a lot of us couples, you know, you need that opposites to keep things balanced. And Gauri and Sundar, you know, just Gauri, I feel like I talk to you more than anybody else from all the patients that we share. So it's nice, you know, enjoy your empty nest time right now, but it's so nice to have somebody close by. And then Suresh and Datri, you know, what brought us closer is actually our kids. Like, you know, Neela and Srija are like almost BFFs, and it's great. Like, you know, they're over at each other's houses all the time. They do everything together, so it's really nice that she has a friend like that. And I really appreciate you guys being here. And then Mira and Sean, you know, Sean's another one of those quiet guys. You know, Mira does all the talking, but you know, you know, and they have their cute little kid, and just, you know, she's great. Like, we text each other all the time, just about this or the other, but it's so nice to have you guys close by, but I know having a little one, makes it a little bit tougher. And then Vinitha, like, I'm really surprised you didn't have like 3 or 4 other events tonight, but you know, I'm super proud of everything you guys do. I mean, you're always doing something, charity, you know, programs, and you know, it's really, I don't want to do all that, but it's really nice to have friends that are that motivated and, you know, willing to do all of that. And I love Rahul's cooking videos. And then, you know, Ruchi and Ajay. Like, Ruchi, you're like the quintessential, like, you know, Elsick, A-League kid. You guys, I spent one night watching videos. Like, she did MTV redos, her and her sister, of like all the videos, like Ice Ice Baby and all these things, and they were really good, but it was the funniest thing. Like, you have to ask her to, you know, show you this, because that was really amazing. And, she kind of tests my patience a bit because, traditional medicine here, and she wants to talk to me about alkaline water and, whatever supplements, and I'm like, don't say anything, but usually I give in. And then Ajay's the quiet one between the two of them, and as long as you keep boats and dogs away from him, he's a happy guy. And, and this is a picture of him, like he did senior pictures along with Setal and Rakesh for Priya, and just the most patient guy that you'll ever meet. And then, at first, I remember when I first met Setal, I was like, who is this loud, obnoxious guy? And that's not my husband, at this party. And, and I mean, again, as I've gotten to know you over the years, you're one of those, go big or go home. Whatever it is, whether it's relationships, work, business, photography, whatever interests you have, you go all in. And you mean it, and I think that's something that I do learn from you, that you have, if you want to do something, do it well, and to go all in. And then we have, Sejal, and, all my friends are cute, hot, nice, all of that, but there's something, Sejal's like the hottest but nicest person that I know, she looks, you look at her and you're like, oh, she's gonna be whatever, but she's the nicest person. I don't think I've ever heard her say one negative thing about anybody, and she's always looking to try to do her best, trying to be more spiritual, and the thing I admire the most is she's never come down on Setal. I don't, I mean, no matter what, she's always supporting him, she never says anything negative, like, what's wrong with you, you need to behave, whereas me, with Juan, I'm constantly, kicking under the table, giving him eyes, and she just takes it as it is, which is, it's a very commendable quality. And then here's Seema, but this is the friend we all need in our lives. You need that one friend who really spends a lot of money, buys a lot of shoes, buys a lot of clothes, has a huge closet, so you can say, look, Seema. No, I'm kidding. But one thing I learned from Seema is, she really has taught me that when it comes to relationships, you have to put work in. It doesn't just happen, and I don't know how she does it. She puts a lot of work in with her friends, with her family, both out of state and in state, with her girls. So I don't have that kind of energy, but, kudos to you. And then there's Shalin, again, the quiet one, gotta balance it out. And what makes it, Juan loves Shalin, sports, he's a sports guy, it's very, a nice little friendship that they have as well. So it's we love you guys. And then we have Shalini, and Shalini I met through Rumana, and, it was kind of like, when you meet friends at a certain age, you're not really trying to make new friends at a certain age, but we just clicked, we were like, oh, our daughters are 1 week apart, they're both a little bit tomboyish, they were both in band, both of them just different, there weren't these girly girls, and we're like, wow, we really bonded over Priya and Savera, and it just kind of hit it off. And I'd like to say we have these really deep talks, but honestly, most of it is like memes talking about our husbands mad about some new shoes we bought. Something just really not that deep, but I love that. And Sunil, he's just easygoing. He's got that little smile that he may look a little serious, but he's just listening to everything, hoping we're not being bad influences on his daughter. I'm sorry, on your wife. And then Kunal and Ritu. I don't even know when we met you. You guys just I feel like just kind of appeared, but Ritu just sounds so poised and formal and so put together. And Kunal, I'm hoping to see you dance tonight. That's my favorite thing about you. But we love you guys and glad you're here with us. And Girjan, Anand, again, so many of our friends have opposite personalities. Everybody knows Anand. The kids call him Crunkle, crazy uncle. And most of the time when he's sitting around, the kids are like, oh my gosh, is he supposed to say that? Are we supposed to be listening to this? I don't know. But he's got the biggest heart, and that's what counts. And Girija, you're like what we want all our daughters to be, just confident, strong, poised, just everything that we want our girls to be. And I'm also just, not to put you on the spot, Ajay's girlfriend is here, so I didn't want to leave anybody out. So Fiona, thanks for, feeding my son. Your family's like his second family. I'm always looking to see where he is. It's always tends to even look, oh, Ajay's there again, and, thanks for coming and being here. And then just ending with Batzel. I'm not trying to put you on the spot, but this is Priya's boyfriend, and again, super happy that Priya, of all people, like honestly, when she's like, oh, I have this Indian boyfriend, I'm like, oh, that's not what we expected. It's just nice guy, nothing, just anyway. Like, do you know Priya? And if you know Priya, like, she's not the most like sensitive person, so she seemed very smitten when she's around him. So it's like, oh, this is kind of cute, like, thank you. And at a time during college when this was like right around COVID time, I'm glad that she had that kind of support and relationship. So thank you. I really appreciate you being here, even though you're dealing with her dad, and he's playing his, like, I'm gonna be mean dad and give him a hard time, but he's handling it just fine. And I like this quote that I saw about the quality of your relationships determines the quality of your life, and I think that's what this is all about. Honestly, like, I didn't want to party, I didn't want to do all of this, but ultimately what it came down to was I really wanted to just thank you guys for what you do for me. I mean, I think friendship, honestly, is very selfish. Like, I'm always like, what am I getting out of this person? And I learned so much from you, and sometimes you don't, and sometimes, it's not like, there's some things you know about your friends, some things you don't. Maybe you know some things at the surface level, but when I look back and look at all the things my friends have gone through and just how strong they've been through it, it really resonates with me to know, like, okay, this is how to do this. I learned a lot from all my friends from all different aspects, and I really do have really, really different types of friends, I have the kind of friends who need a new dress for every party, and some that are like, no, I'm good, and I'm like, oh, okay, or whatever it is. Like, they're just, and I have friends who just have different interests, and, my friends don't necessarily would connect with other friends of mine, but that's what I love about this whole group here is just, this is really a reflection of me, and what's important to me are the people here, and, the family here, the friends here. That's everything to me, and I really, really appreciate you guys making the time to be here, flying from out of town, driving long distances. This is everything for me, so I really thank you.